Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, it's known as the Great Resignation. Millennials and Gen Zs are jumping ship every year or two, and employers are at a loss to try and keep the best and the brightest in place. We'll be talking to the founder of a very innovative company that has a very unique employee benefit. That's next.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, as an employer myself, I can tell you it's very frustrating to hire, and train, and then just when they're getting where you need them to be, they quit. Nothing is more frustrating than being on this revolving door approach to hiring and rehiring. So let's talk about employee perks right now with an expert, David White. He is the founder of Paycheck Works, LLC. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it very much.
Now, you've been doing this for a while now, 32 years?
32 years in this space in some capacity, yes.
Yes. Tell us what your company does.
We actually go into companies, and the best thing I can explain, we go in and build an employee store for their employees to buy products, and we actually give them an opportunity to pay it out over time. We don't charge them interest. We don't check their credit. Their job is their credit. I always say we're kind of like Amazon with a payment arm. We have around 30,000 products. Most people would buy from us, electronics especially. Takes them and helps them stay away from predatory lenders a lot of times. So it's just a very unique space. I feel like I help people have a better quality of life. And I do keep them somewhat away from the lenders that may take advantage of them.
Awesome. We're going to talk more about that in a minute, but let's go ahead and watch this overview video.
One of the major distractions for employees is their financial well-being, or more likely their lack of financial security. 40% find it difficult to meet monthly household expenses. Number one cause of employee stress. Your employee stress leads to reduced productivity. What if there was a way to offer a benefit to your employee that helped them out but didn't cost you, the employer, anything? A free benefit to offer your employees. Welcome to Paycheck Works. Give your employees online access to the latest consumer goods with affordable payments. Employees often encounter the need or desire for a major purchase. Broken appliance in the kitchen, family member birthday or special holiday, TV for upcoming big game, but have challenges. Recent medical emergency drained the savings, don't have great access to credit. Payday loans and rent to own are expensive alternatives. Employee can responsibly manage these purchases through their paycheck deduction. Zero interest, no fees, no credit check. Get items quickly. The only requirements of the employee: they must be a full-time employee, minimum salary requirement, 18 years old, employed for 6 months. Easy program to implement. Provide an employee census to Paycheck Works, and we will set up the accounts and send out welcome emails. Payroll deduction is easy to manage. Paycheck Works helps employers drive employee retention and wellness by providing employees the opportunity to utilize their employment status to purchase and pay for a vast number of consumer goods over a period of time. Based on the employee's income and tenure, Paycheck Works provides a credit line that allows the employee to open an account, leading to reduced financial dependence on high-cost alternatives. Contact us to get started.
David, you were telling me off camera that this is such an attractive perk that many employees will stay in place just because they know they're not going to get this at their next company.
That's what we've been told. And actually, a lot of times when companies do put it in, once the HR sees and how it works, they will come back and say, yes, I don't think our employees will leave for a 50 cent an hour raise, because they would lose this perk if they go to another company that doesn't have it.
We're going to put up a testimonial page because you're getting glowing reviews from all over. I bet you've had clients for years, haven't you?
I have had clients for years. I've actually had clients come up and almost in tears and tell me how this actually helped them have a better life. that they could buy things better for their family than that they had for themselves. I've had grandmothers come say, this allows me to buy for my grandkids for Christmas and things like that. So it's a good, warm and fuzzy story that actually helps people.
And is the employer out money? I mean, how does this work?
It doesn't cost the employer just a very little time in the HR department. It's free to them. If someone actually were to buy something from me and leave, it's my responsibility to collect that money, not the employees at all. So it is a very free benefit that helps their employees.
And you said how many products are in the company store?
About 30,000 products. So like I said, it's pretty elaborate. Pretty much anything that you could possibly want, we have there for these employees to buy.
And what's the average cost saving versus buying it retail?
Well, it's not really a cost saving. Our pricing is pretty much MSRP.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a little bit more based on the product, but the thing is we don't charge these people interest. So in other words, anything they buy is paid out over 6 months. Most people spend around $1,000 a year with us. They will buy a lot of their Christmas. They will buy those big ticket items like the refrigerators, washer dryers, TVs, and things like that when they go out. And it will keep them from going to the rent-to-own places, going and get a payday loan. We actually have statistics say that this actually helps with early 401k withdrawals, that people are not drawing on a 401k plan during Christmas time to buy Christmas. They're using us.
Yes. Now, it's so innovative. I bet it's hard to explain to somebody who's never experienced this before.
That's the hardest part of what I do for a living. I have to go into a room full of people that don't need this. I have the CEO, the head of HR, the owner, someone that actually has succeeded in life and made it above, the average person. But it's normally for around 15 to 20% of our population would use this once this program goes in.
And it's become more critical than ever because, as we just discussed, you do have a bunch of job hoppers that are just going from one job to another every year or two. Anything that the employer can do to keep them in place is valuable.
Right. It definitely is. Like I said, and this is one of those things, like I said, especially now that we do see that there's more financial stress with employees now than it used to be prior to COVID. Even though it was really prevalent then, it's even more so now because a lot of people are one-income families versus two because the parent has to stay home with their kids because of, they can't afford a daycare or something, or they have to homeschool them. So we do feel like the program's even more needed now than before.
And I know a lot of employers will sometimes get a ping pong table or a pool table, and
they will do that.
I mean, that doesn't necessarily solve an employee morale problem.
No. Like I said, what we see about 65% of all of our sales are in products that people need in day-to-day life. Like I said earlier, a computer, a TV, a refrigerator, an air conditioner, just anything like that that's extra for their home.
Yes. We only have about a minute left, so your camera is there on the right. Talk to the employer who's like scratching their head saying, I don't know, David, is this for me?
This is for you. Like I said, if you have an employee base and then you have a lot of hourly employees that live paycheck to paycheck, this is a program that actually will help them have a better quality of life. It'll build a lot of goodwill to your company, and it would actually help with retention.
Outstanding. David, you've been an amazing guest. We'll have to have you back again soon. We're going to end with your website, which is paycheckworks.com. David White, the founder. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.